carried bullion vans on election day, but EFCC wants to jail landlords, Reno Mokri. A Nigerian human rights activist popularly identified as Reno Mokri has criticized the plans by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC to jail landlords who rent their apartments to Yahoo boys. The human rights activist said, somebody openly and blatantly carried bullion vans about on election day. EFCC did nothing. Now, they want to jail landlords for 15 years for renting properties to Yahoo boys. Do they expect these landlords to turn to spirit if their tenants are Yahoo? The authorities of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission disclosed that landlords risk 15 years in jail for renting their properties to Yahoo boys in the country. This development follows the plans of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to clamp down on internet fraudulent activities and scams carried out by individuals across the country. Previous moves have been made to curb online scams through whistleblowing, and a special medium was created for the public to report online activities deemed illegal to the authorities. Well, I think it's safe to say it's scary how the whole concept of Yahoo and fraud is cementing itself well within the Nigerian society. It is very shameful. Personally, I don't think I've seen the active measures that they've tried to, the EFCC has tried to clamp down on internet fraudsters. However, I think this is the problem with Nigeria. I think we don't treat the cause, we treat the symptoms. How do you want landlords to risk 15 years? How does that even make sense at all? That is unnecessarily harsh. And if anything, that is the sentence that you should give to the fraudsters. So if you're going to give landlords 15 years, how much are you going to give the fraudsters themselves? I mean, corruption is literally ingrained. It's like inbuilt. It's part of the DNA. For the fact that you want to deal with Yahoo or fraud, it has been embedded into every segment of the Nigerian society when it comes to security, when it comes to social events, aka the clubs, when it comes to now property, when it comes to so many things. It's literally another avenue for corruption to solidify. I mean, corruption has been solidified in Nigeria, but then there's so many ways in which you can go about this corruption. I mean, Nigerians are creative, right? So now the reemergence or the popularity of internet fraud has literally made it so interwoven with our society, and now it's like trying to sift sand and or sugar and salt. How would you do that? It's the same. You can't. How do you fish it out? So if anything, if our tech is up to where it should be, we should be able to easily trace accounts. We should be able to easily trace, like, obviously, transfer money from accounts. We should be able to understand our economy properly, first of all. We should have account of each and every person in the country to the best of our ability. And if we don't have a standard, how do we fish that something is wrong? Like, this is the thing. We don't have a proper standard of living. Everyone is aspiring to this standard of living. We don't have a standard. If you have a standard and everyone follows a certain standard, and with living, with housing, with water, with education, with health, if everyone is getting these basic things right, first of all, criminality would reduce, because obviously poverty is eradicated little by little, right? But the thing is, when there's no standard, it's harder to even fish out these things, because you'd find somebody who literally does not warrant earning a certain amount, and you see them driving a G-Wagon or wearing designers or having the best phones. Not that they don't deserve it, but it's like, if 2 + 2 is 4 and 5 + 5 is 10, what are you doing? Because it's not adding up. When we don't have a standard, we're not able to fully recognize. So not that we can't recognize, but it's harder to fish out, if I make my point. It's harder to fish it out. If we know that this is a standard of living for everyone in our society, when someone lives above it or severely under it, it'll be easy for us to segment and be like, how do we fix this? And I hope that is making sense. So again, it's so interwoven, and then with Reno Mokri coming to add the corruption that also has to do with our government as well. It's just like, wow, icing on the cake. Is it that bad? Yes, it is that bad. So again, with bullion vans and being carried on election day, I mean, again, this is our country. How do we fix it? It is that bad. Let's not pretend Giant of Africa nonsense. It is that bad. So personally, I just don't understand how EFCC wants, 15 years jail for landlords. Are you serious? I mean, even the rent system in the country is literally like, it's not even classified. Like, is it a monthly one? Is it a yearly one? Like, how much would it be? Like, it's hard. There is no standard. Standardization is so key. This just goes back to so many problems that Nigeria has with our societal values, with instant gratification, with always being, again, if you give the personality of our own people, yes, we do like to show off. We do like the grand lifestyle, and us chasing that, and then looking at the Americas and looking at the kind of life that's been lived there, and then our obsession with Dubai. Like, we really look forward to that life, and it's not bad. But it's like, when the country is not producing at a certain level, we sure hell do not deserve the life that we want. Let's just be honest. You can't underproduce and expect, literally, you're not using you're underutilizing your resources, or you're not producing at your capacity is not giving you the room to produce well enough, and you want to spend. It doesn't make sense. If Nigeria if we produced at the level or at a standard where we can deserve a Dubai type of Nigeria, then yes. But you can't produce in fact, it's even the opposite. We produce at such a little level that our results and what we look like is not matching up and not adding up to our lifestyles, and it's not adding up to the numbers our country is giving. So, of course, everything looks fishy. So again, if the disparity with the poor and the rich, or the disparity with our standard of living in certain regions, if that is not closed, or if it's not actively trying to reduce in gap, then we're not heading anywhere. EFCC, bullion vans, Yahoo boys, Nigerians, we can go on this conversation for so long. And that is why we need you in the comment section to give your opinions and what problems also arise in talking about fraudsters in Nigeria, and then the fraudulent activities that go on in our government. It is a whole dissertation and a half. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.